G'day, Hendra. G'day, everyone. How are all of you? Just getting a couple of little things set up. What up, Zykes? G'day, Zykes. G'day, Hendra. Now, I'm going to enable something here. G'day, Aphonia. Free TTS is now available for someone to grab. G'day, y'all. How are we? I did something yesterday. I started customizing my setup a little bit. Aphonia with the free TTS. So, you'll notice the colors around here are different. I've kind of applied my purple and green to my entire Linux. But at the same time, I've animated my wallpaper. No, it's just a GIF. Just a GIF as the wallpaper. And Linux handles it perfectly. So now you can all, whenever I do an Alt tab, you can... Oh, it's just static when I Alt tab. Damn it. I was hoping it'd be animated when I Alt tab. Yes, how is everyone? Today, we are gonna be getting some of our roguelike attacks set up. As well as a test area for our player to walk around and have like a couple of enemies. So yeah. That's what we're doing today. It's gonna be fun. I hope. I should probably get NeoVim set up too. We need to go here, make it all a little bit larger for yous. Split. New file. I think that's the right side. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Alright. I do remember you, stream. How are you doing? Glad to have you back. I'm just getting some stuff set up during the ads here. Made the website with only AI and it worked. Yeah. It'll work. For now. That's right. We're going to need the state machines. Each weapon is going to need a state machine. That's what we're going to need to set up today. Oof. Oof. That's some work. But yeah, like you can make simple things with AI, but trying to make it more complicated, not going to be good. Trying to make it secure, not going to be good. G'day, H-Ives, how are you doing? What are you up to? Alright. Oh, that's the target. Yeah, that's fair. I can stay there. This is WebPyTrue Gym, so I don't need it to be complicated. But there is authentication. So, I'm doing well, H-Ives.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay, ads are over. Adding authentication for people to log in and stuff. That's important to keep secure. So as long as you know for absolute certain that it is secure and that what the AI has given you is secure, you're good. Alright, so what do we need to do? I just need to start getting some stuff set up, I think. Yeah. What's everyone doing tomorrow? Organs, please. Tomorrow is my only real day of work where I have to clean the house and all that kind of BS. Ugh. I hate it. Hate it. No worries, stream. Catch you later. We are here for 10 hours, so...
What are you going to make for today?
So today, we're going to start getting the player set up with the different state machines for the different, weapons. So that way they play a different animation when the player attacks and all that kind of stuff. And then we can start making the weapons in Blender and start setting up NPCs to have similar weaponry, stuff like that. Maybe the NPCs will have like slightly worse weaponry. But yeah, we'll need to figure out what the enemies are. Howdy. Howdy, Bucky. Sorry. Howdy, Bucky. There you go. Why do we still have that
Maybe
being
a bad
printed out?
program attack like small delays between each attack combo that they are making?
A bad program attack. Small delays between each attack combo they're making. What do you mean a bad program? Oh, there it is. Get rid of that. Yeah, not sure what you mean by a bad program. Damage to apply is going to be float.
I mean, if it would be good program attack, they will be like an AI that will learn and slowly insta-kill the player.
Be good to program attack. Like an AI that will learn and slowly insta-kill the player. So you're saying that I should make my game learn the player's tactics and do things to combat the player. That's very difficult. I don't even know where I would begin with that. Yeah, I got no idea where to begin with that. It's possible it's something we can implement, but probably not right now, because we don't even have attacks set up at the moment. So we would want to get that stuff set up first and have some sort of combat loop before we start thinking about having the NPCs learn how the player fights and things like that. It is a good idea, though. I do like that idea. Yeah, I'm not sure how to even implement that. That might be a fun little learning experience. I like it. Thank you for the lurks there. Much appreciated. I think we do this. Not min, max. So if we do this, I think we do... No. So we want to get the damage to the shield. Damage minus shield damage. So I should probably...
I mean like a tester. Each time it fails, it will try slightly different pattern to survive or attack.
Wait, are you talking about automating the testing approach? Because again, like that's a bit far off. Like we don't have any combat loop at the moment. So implementing that kind of stuff now, not possible. Yeah, what we're gonna do at the moment is we'll get the attack set up so the player does their attacks and whatnot. We'll get the NPCs set up so that they have their attacks, and that they target the player and things like that. And we'll have the player progress through the areas, and then we'll have the player find an NPC that ends up back at their base and unlocks a certain mechanic back at their base, sort of thing, and have the storyline progress. We get all that set up first. And then we can start thinking about automating the testing via having a program that will just run through, test out different scenarios, attacks, weaponry, stuff like that, and progress from there. But like all of that stuff is like probably a few months down the track. They are good ideas. They're just nothing that we can do right now. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Congratulations on becoming a Gadunt.
Just random thought I had, so I thought to share. But if you fight the same enemy, maybe having a scaling program. But yeah, first the basics. Sorry for telling it too early.
Yeah, so again, with that, scaling basic, like, that's essentially having an AI learn how the player fights. But having an AI that learns how the player fights and then changing NPC behavior, that's very difficult to implement. Good audience size, just you wait. Usually after the first hour, it picks up and whatnot. Remember, all 1,000 people searched to get you. Didn't get recommended. That's true. Yeah, we've only just started, so we're like 15 minutes in. And I am in Australia, so people are generally going to bed in America and whatnot at this point in time. But yeah, in an hour or two, we'll have a few more. If I had an audience of 5 people, I can stream for 15 hours. Leak code problems. I don't know why AutoMod caught that. But yeah, it's all, like, I don't one thing you gotta do if you're a streamer, one thing you gotta do, don't pay attention to the audience size while you're streaming, okay? Ignore how many people are in the audience while you're streaming, right? Interact with your audience. Like, do things on stream to entertain and whatnot, but don't think about how many people are watching. Block that from your vision, because otherwise, if you're used to having 15, 20 people in your audience, but you have like 5 people one day, that's gonna make you question what you're doing, and it's gonna impact the stream even further. So just have fun with it while you're doing it. Don't worry about how many people are here while you're here. My problem of streaming, I'll be talking to myself and the screen for at least a year. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because you got to remember, there's also something you can do where you can join a team, and then that automatically gives you some extra audience. And you can also go into Discord communities, and like in my Discord, I have an area that people can post when they are going live. So that automatically opens you up to a bunch of people in another Discord server. Then maybe they'll see it and they'll go, oh yeah, I'll go check them out. And then you've got like Blue Sky and Twitter and stuff where you post when you're going live. And you use the hashtags and stuff like that. And you create shorts to get yourself out there. That's how you do it. Here is an overview of the game that we are making in chat. It's going to be an action roguelike. We are currently working out applying damage, and then we're going to set up the player with different state machine states for the different weaponry. And then we are going to start working on NPCs and getting those in this test area so that we can have some test combat. And then we can start making another test area and test progressing. And then kind of start fleshing it out from there. Yeah, that's what we're doing at the moment. What I need to do though, I need to find out how much damage to apply to the shield. So I think what we want shield damage will be damage if damage is greater than the stats manager shield value, else stats manager shield value then down here health damage is that. We can go if shield damage is greater than 0. And this one is if health damage is greater than 0. So now if the player has a shield, they will take shield damage first. If they don't have a shield, they won't take shield damage. Easy. Started programming after being inspired from Brackies, so like 9 years old. Was sad to let him go. Never thought he would come back. That was crazy. I got into my programming journey because I was given a C++ complete reference book when I was like 15. That was my intro to programming. Good place to promote my blank screen for meditation. Alright, so we have that set up. What? Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I don't know why you are here. Why are you here? What the fuck happened? Shield damage is greater than 0. Then stats manager, shield, update, negative damage. If health damage is greater than 0, stats manager, health, update value, negative damage. There we go. There we go, that's all. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we need to create some new state machine stuff. What were the different types of weaponry we had? We're gonna have... So we can probably start with the melee weapon first.
Ichives is a guardian who preserves, organizes, and safeguards wisdom.
No. Well, that's a lie. Ichives is the trickster god. Still pretty novice. Look up to tutorials and documentation for everything. Quit 2 years ago, want to make some games now. Yeah, like if you want to make them, get back into it. There's tons of stuff out there for you, so you don't need to worry about creating 3D models or 2D pixel art or anything like that anymore. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can get for free and use to make like a first game. And as for the programming side of things, try to avoid tutorial hell. So Godot's very good for avoiding tutorial hell because Godot's documentation is all right here. And it's very, very thorough. So if you want to find something out for the Mesh Instance 2D, it's very thorough, like, documentation. And it's like, it's a 2D as well. So it has all of this stuff. So they go through it all very well. But yeah, try to avoid tutorial hell, because if you go into tutorial hell and you just keep following tutorials, that's going to limit how much you actually learn. So you gotta be careful of that. Do we need... That's done. Like, do we need a state for each weapon? I guess we do, because each one's gonna have like different reloads and stuff like that. Like different... They're not just gonna have different animations. Thanks for the lurk, Ichives. They're not gonna just have different animations and such. They'll have like a different reload time, different delays between attacks and stuff. But we can put that into those. Made stupid edgy Flash games and Unity 2D platformers and stuff. Not proficient at data structures in C++ or C#. Problem is engine shenanigans. You're always going to have that. If you're proficient at data structures in C++, you could look at doing something like creating a 2D platformer or something like that using just SDL3, and then implementing your own stuff. But I don't recommend that, because you would have to be the one to implement all of the math that goes into the movement and stuff like that. And that's difficult. That's difficult. What up, Atticus? How are you doing? But yeah, like, there's also things like Raylib. Raylib is good. We made Pong in Raylib. That was fun. So there's other stuff out there, and then the good thing with things like Godot and stuff is you can get access to the source code, change the engine however you want, rebuild it yourself, all that kind of stuff. I'm swearing at Docker test containers being run in multiple environments on a cron in GitHub Actions. How you doing? I'm doing good, Atticus. I'm doing good. Tomorrow is my only real day of work. in that I have to do cooking and cleaning and all that kind of stupid BS. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. I'd much rather be streaming, but I gotta take care of the house and make sure that I have food. It sucks. I wish I was already large enough streamer to just hire someone to do that stuff for me so I can just keep streaming for everyone. It's like, this is where the fun is. Just, cleaning the backyard was not fun yesterday. Well, I mean, of course, when you've got like 7 puppies. When you've got 7 puppies, cleaning the backyard's going to be terrible. Because whatever you do, don't go out there with a lawnmower. There's a dead cat in there. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. I currently want to make a 2D Souls game, which transitions to 3D Doom style. I made basic sketches and everything. I want to do it with... very motivated to do a 3 to 4 project with friends. So, when you say transition to a 3D Doom style, are you talking modern day Doom, or are you talking old school Doom where they had 2D sprites billboarded to give the effect of a 3D environment? It was a stinky garbage day today, I can imagine. And it also depends how you want to do the transition as well. The transition would be a difficult piece. "2D layers on Unity giving 3D illusions," or anything to give that effect. Yeah, so you're looking at billboarding a 2D sprites into a 3D world. Yeah. That type of stuff's fairly straightforward to do when it comes to the 3D side. Have you heard of the puzzle game The Witness? Buddy recommended it to me and it's pretty fun. Going to be streaming it. Interesting. I have not. The Witness for $60 Australian. Oh yeah, I've seen some of this gameplay. I saw Pirate Software playing this. Yeah, it's a pretty big puzzle game. Yeah. That seems like a pretty good one. Actually, heard about something pretty excellent today. So Bitcraft, they released an announcement today. Bitcraft Online is going to be a open source commercial MMORPG. Bitcraft Online is a community-driven sandbox MMORPG set in a procedurally generated world shared by all players. The whole world is completely editable. Not only can you cut down trees, build roads, or construct buildings and cities, but because it's an MMO, you can build societies, economies, and relationships. Players start with nothing and work together or compete to shape the world around them. And then... yeah. They're making it completely open source. If you're not a software developer, the phrase open source might sound like jargon. Simple idea with powerful impact. Our focus will be on a smooth and successful early access launch on Steam, which is our highest priority. Only once we are happy with the state of the game will we start the process of open sourcing Bitcraft. As always, we'll be sure to keep our community updated as soon as we're able to. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. An open source MMORPG. Lovely. I want the whole world to be accessible in 2D and 3D all times, even in combats, unless it's a boss fight. Yeah, that's going to be difficult, Soust. You're probably going to need a custom engine to do that, unless you do it in a fake way. So unless you do a 3D world and you transition between the 3D perspective and a 2D, like a 3D orthographic perspective that gives a flat feeling to the world. That's the only way I could see that being possible. Gonna see how big their switch statements are. I mean, probably. What the hell? Why does it still have yesterday's chat? I don't know. That sounds like a caching problem for you, Goose. How you doing, Goose? What's up? Ah, coffee. You doing good? Good to hear. Good to hear. So yeah, I'm thinking we can probably just have... It might be easier to break it out into different state machines. I think breaking it down into different state machines is like different states. It's going to be the way to go. So if we have like baton state, as well as shotgun state, missile state. Tested concepts in Unity and Godot. One good way is making two different scenes updating simultaneously. Yes, but that's going to have performance impacts. So if it's gonna be low, like low graphic stuff, then that'll be fine. But if it's going to be large graphics that take up a lot of RAM, yeah. So what you would do, Soust, is you would have them billboarded. So you'd have the sprite billboarded, and you would also have them facing the camera. So in 3D, if you create a sprite 3D, then what you can do is under flags, you set billboard to enable. And then I think, let's just make this a placeholder. Placeholder texture, 4040. So now it's always facing the camera no matter where the camera is. So you can have a top-down style, and then you set up a camera. You add the camera. So you have the... Let's see, we go back. This way, we have the camera go -30 and 45. We raise that up. Move it kind of like that, so you've got that there. This is perspective, and then orthographic. You just kind of change this to be, you know, something similar to perspective. Do that sort of thing. And then if you create a plane, so we'll create a mesh instance. We'll go make it a plane, make it 2020, give it a material. Actually, just make it a standard material. Give it an albedo that's not so hard on the eyes. Push that down below the player. If we wanted to, we could even make this... Yeah, no, that's fine. So then, what you do is on the camera, so you've got perspective mode like this, and then you've got orthogonal mode, which changes it like that. So, and then you just need to make sure that your camera doesn't clip the ground and stuff like that. In orthogonal, you can set the near to like 0.01 kind of thing. As you change the size, it zooms out kind of thing. But yeah, with orthogonal, you've got this issue. So you need to make sure that when you go into orthogonal, the camera is actually high enough to be out of the way of the ground and the walls. So that way you get that. But then that also impacts the perspective camera. So how you do it is with a bunch of tinkering, because you can also just zoom that back in a bit. And then you can kind of alternate between the perspective and orthogonal, and you have your 2D, 3D perspectives. I don't think animation would be tricky. If it's a 2D sprite, not really.
I'm gonna run away and get ready for school.
No worries, Goose. If it's 2D sprites, not really, because the sprites are always going to be just doing whatever their animation is. You can also have it so that even though they are billboarded, they don't face the camera. So when you go into 2D perspective, it's still billboarded, but because of the angle, you just see the side profile of the character from like a top-down perspective, and it looks like it's just walking around as a regular 2D character. But there are ways to do it. Like, as I said, it would take a bunch of tinkering. That's just an initial idea of how to do it. I don't know the full idea of how you would set it up. But that would be a starting idea for it. So that way you don't need to worry about having 2D and 3D, like one scene of each being done at the same time, even though one's visible. And doing it that way, where you change between perspective and orthogonal, you would probably, a lot of it would come down to the art style as well. So the art style would need to be made specifically to support that changing perspective of perspective and orthogonal kind of thing. It'd be an interesting art challenge, that's for sure. A very interesting art challenge. I want perception of depth. Very bad in 3D, so 2D still has good use. Again, you could achieve that with your art style. So your art style in the 3D would look very flat, so that it gives that issue of depth. That could be one way you accomplish it. Yeah. Baton missile shotgun. Shield state. Pistol state. Rifle state. Is that what we had? We had baton,
Mozzarella.
pistol, rifle, shield, shotgun. I think that's all we had. Cat, roguelike, mozzarella. Mozzarella is good on pizza. That's true. Missile, rifle, pistol, shield, baton, shotgun. Yeah, cool. Cool. No. I don't think I do want these states. No. What we do want is an attack state. And the reason why I don't want a different state for each one is because I want it to be one attack state because the player will have a weapon resource which will say what upgrades the weapon has, what the attack animation is for the player, what the what do you call it? What the special is for the weapon, all that kind of stuff, and it will implement, like it will generate or create a scene that does the attack. I don't know why people put up with BS on Unity, man. The 2D Ender scene, the engine is so BS, I swear. It's because it's what a lot of people know. A lot of people in the indie scene have been using Unity since well before the issues came about. So it's what they know. And if you have a game that you've been working on for 2 years in an engine, changing to a new engine is difficult. Like migrating all of that to a new engine, very tough. How are you reading the animation? So we'll have, like, we don't have our character animated and all that yet. We're going to be using the Blender base mesh stuff. So these ones, we'll be using these two characters here as our character. We'll get them rigged and stuff through Blender, and we'll set up our animation tree. So our animation tree will take care of what state the player's in and move them based, like, play the animation based on that state. And we'll have a blend that happens. So if the player's moving and they start attacking, we do we play an animation while they're attacking. Or if it's a one-shot animation, then we just do it once instead of continuously looping it. And that'll just blend into whatever the animation state tree is currently playing. How are you? Like, why are you late, McCory? I don't think you're late. We're only 45 minutes in. That's not late. Telling me you're late. You should be redeeming 4th. I know you can't redeem 4th because I'm the one that set it up. Alright. I'm hoping today... That was funny. That was very funny. It's very generous of you, Hendra. Very, very generous of you. So generous. I'm hoping this afternoon we can actually finish up some testing with the overlay and actually have that, like, using the new overlay from Thursday onwards, have a lot of stuff kind of fixed up and working better. I hope. I hope. Alright, so we have the attack state. Yo. Extends base player state. Funk ready. We do state equals state attack. Add another node. I need to do that. Player states, attack state, bam. I'll put these in order. Walking at the bottom, cutscene, death, knockdown, idle, stagger. Perfect, there we go. What up, Ginger? How are you doing today? On this fine, fine Tuesday. Okay. Should I make custom world builder for this? After I figure the movement, combat, and other mechanics. What do you mean a custom world builder? As in players can create their own world to play in? Or are you saying you create a custom world builder so that you can build the world out yourself? Why is your state machine done with nodes? So what I can do, if we have a look at our player, let me just redo this. If we go all the way down here, you'll see I do state machine current state physics process. State machine current state update. State machine current state process handle input. So what I do is my state machine has a switch state which handles changing between my states. And then I just execute whatever the physics process logic is for the state that's selected. So, for example, if we go into our idle state here, you'll see how we've got a physics process, and the physics process handles idle state stuff. So the idle state goes, if we're moving, like if the player has started moving, switch into the walking state. When it enters, like I can also set things up like a init state. So if I have anything that needs to be set up for the state, then I can add all of that in there. We also have this stuff here, so we can have our idle state. If the player's been standing still for like 30 seconds, we can have the character like animate with like a look around kind of thing. That just basically splits it out into that sort of logic. And then there's also the walking state. The walking state has all of our logic for handling player movement. So none of this logic here is polluted with attack logic or anything like that. Everything just gets split out. JavaScript days in Unity were gold when you had to pay for dark mode. After that, everything went to shit. That's funny. What up, Carney? How are you doing? I'm hoping to get my, what do you call it? Hoping to get my overlay rework stuff done by the end of today. Ready and tested and stuff for use on Thursday onwards. Fine. Finished new feature of Twitcher and added new docs to it. Nice. I love the docs. Docs are good. I love docs. So what do we do? We need to make sure. So in here. What do we need? How are we going to have the attack work? That's the big question. The right hand is just like where the weapon will be mounted. Is this open source? Is what open source? Target point. Let's see, I think we want to have something like... I think we'll do that. It's not open source. This game isn't available anywhere yet. It's still a work in progress. It's not ready for anyone to play it. It's not going to be open source. I do want to add mod support to it, but that's a different beast entirely. Morning, Mike. How are you? We need to add... weapon data. That's exactly what I'm after, to be honest. There we go. Voila. I'm so smart. I already had it set up. And I didn't even realize it. Jesus. I want to move this to weapon data. Pop. How's progress on your side? Hope you get also good progress done. Of course, I'm always getting good progress done. Always getting good progress. So we've changed our game, Carney. Our game was going to be an open world action RPG, but now it's going to be an action roguelike. So, should be fun. I'm also thinking, because we're going the roguelike path, I could probably add a cell shader to all my stuff. Like, have a cell shader on everything, make everything have that, like, black outline and stuff. I reckon that'll make it look, like, that'll make it pop a lot. be able to answer that after coffee. That's fair. That's fair, Mike. Why the change? We started building out the world for the action RPG. And I was just thinking about it was going to it'd take a very long time to create an open world environment, basically. What up, Fox? Just came back from work. How are you? I'm doing great, Fox. Doing fantastic. But with a roguelike, we can create like smaller confined areas, and we can have those reuse a lot of the same resources, just like positioned in different spots. And we can just create like 10 to 20 of them for each section of the area. So it like follows a progression system. That's a lot. It's a lot easier to just like create those smaller confined areas, because you need to make sure that the pathways, like when the player exits one direction, they enter from that direction or another area. You need to make sure that stuff lines up. But outside of that, you don't really need to make sure that things are cohesive, if that makes sense. So, like, if you have a building, like if you've got two buildings and your character goes down an alleyway, you don't need those two buildings to be in that spot on the next area. You just need like a pathway that like your character comes out of an alleyway in the next map. And those buildings are like out of view to the bottom sort of thing. So it doesn't need to be like, you don't need those buildings in view from the next direction or anything like that. It just needs to be something that can be reused. So it's like when they exit that direction, they pop out in the correct spot in that scene. And that scene can clip onto any of the others, sort of thing. So that's the kind of... But yeah. Also, creating smaller isolated scenes, you keep the momentum up. So you create one isolated scene, you put that into the game. Bam. You have progress that you've made after a couple days of modeling that scene. You go on to the next scene. Bam. You have more progress. Whereas if you're building a huge open world area, you are making the same kind of progress, but you're not seeing it. Like, it's not as easy to identify that that progress has been made. So mentally, it has a different effect on you. Scene management is so annoying. Was the reason why I didn't finish most of my games. That's something that you pick up. Should I go for frame by frame animation or keyframe animation? If you're doing everything as 2D sprites that are billboarded in a 3D world, you're gonna do frame by frame animated, like hand animated stuff. Unless you're creating a 3D model and you are rendering that as a series of images, at which point you can probably just go for like a keyframe animation. But if you're doing 3D, it depends on what you want. Animating with keyframes is a lot easier. Because you put a keyframe here where the foot's on the ground. You put a keyframe here where the foot's at the top of the step. You put a keyframe here where the foot's coming down. So like it looks like a step with multiple different spots, but it's just like 3 keyframes that you do. One here, one here, one here. And then Blender takes care of filling in the rest. That's generally what I do with animations anyway. Still pretty difficult for me. Oh yeah, it's still difficult. Like, it's not easy. It's easier. A difference. Easy versus easier. Easier can still be hard. It's just not as hard as the other hard thing. I had an almost finished game that never released because I got stuck for a month trying to fix my scene management logic. Yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt. We do have ads coming in, so we're gonna pop on the words. I have to knock out 25 push-ups and then get myself another coffee. Bam. Alright, give me a sec. One, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Easy. Ooh, Bard. That's nice. Bombard. Alright, I'm gonna get myself a copy. I will be back.
and there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, Durbo. Waker. No. Oh, Hawker. It was a Hawker. Dang. I forgot Hawker was a word. Alright. Time for me to continue having coffee from the mug that makes coffee taste better. Ah. Gaduntalicious. Get your mug now from our merch store. Did pretty good considering English is my fourth language. Damn, your fourth language. Holy shit. Here I am studying for like Swedish and German and getting half of it wrong all the time. What up, Tricky? How are you? Okay, so we have weapon data. Interaction detected. This will be what do we want to call it? It'd be things that auto pick up. So I could have like what would the class be? Do we just want to call it an item? I guess we can just call it an item, like a base item. And then here we go. I need to create that first. Down here we go. Item.gd. Extends node 3D. Class name item. Doom Engine isn't hard to recreate in Python, not gonna lie. At least making a 3D static visual space. Yeah, no, it's not that difficult. Let's see. So we have the item here. I guess we'll need a ready. But I just want that. I just want that for now. So that way, this can be happy. I've got to go into here, that's why. God damn it. So that's fine with having that undetected. Or not used, I should say. Alright. Done? What's done? Oh, what up, Sammy? How are you doing? It's 4 AM over here, got school and stuff tomorrow. Oof. Get some sleep. Sorry if I disturb too much. Oh, disturb away. Like, I'm here to entertain. Like, annoy me. Disturb me. Like, make me, like, distract me. Make me eat hot sauce. It's, like, go for it. I finished the first version of neural network training for disease protection. Ooh, nice. God damn. But at work, if you have enough symptoms provided, that's That's pretty impressive. You too, Soust. Enjoy. Yeah, like, 4 symptoms versus 17 symptoms? Yeah. Order of symptoms doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Just these are the symptoms, and then it kind of runs that through the neural net and goes, based on those symptoms, this is what it is. Yes, that works. That's pretty good. That's impressive, actually. That's very impressive. I have no idea where to even start with that stuff, so... It's black magic to me. Just convert symptoms to list and do neural network. Yeah. Okay, so the weapon data has all of that. And we can probably set up a animation. What's the next step here? Okay, I have coffee. Nice. Coffee. Coffee. Please do not cut off me. Unless you have some coffee. And if you have coffee, then give it to me. The side night and happiness thing. This guy wakes up in the morning and he's singing about how coffee's everything to them. He goes through this whole whole process to get coffee because he has none at home. And then he goes through a drive-through of a coffee shop. And when they ask him what he wants, he ends up driving out with an orange juice. I think it's good enough as proof of concept. Exactly. Time to find funding so I can really improve it. Definitely. Take it to some VCs and they'll be like, huh. Actually, no. Go to WebMD. Sell it to WebMD for like $150 million. Done. And if you do sell it to WebMD for $150 million, remember who gave you that idea and how much they would love to be paid. Hint, hint. Get like $1 million, I'll buy you a Corvette. Jeez. I don't drive, so a Corvette would be wasted on me. Just take that same amount of money, take that $100,000 that you'd spend on a Corvette, and instead just get me a NVIDIA GPU. They cost the same amount, so, you know. You don't drive? Nope. Don't drive. If I need to go into the city, I catch a train. When I do groceries, I walk for 20 minutes to the grocery store, get my groceries, walk 20 minutes home. I walk to my PO box. I'm in Melbourne. Yeah. Very easy to get around. In here, what do we need to do in the attack state? Is it true that there was a story of an Aussie taking a shit, then a snake crawled up his toilet? I don't know, probably. There have been a couple of situations where snakes have been in people's plumbing, but that is more like, that's a very rare occurrence, and it's generally because they've got an issue with their plumbing. Like they'll have like a pipe that's not adequately covered or something like that, so snakes are able to just like crawl in there, kind of thing. Nope, see it all the time. I have never seen it, Mike. I have never seen it, and I've heard like 3 news stories of it happening. Like, it's not... Snakes need water. They'll hunt it down. Yeah, they'll hunt it down, but like, I guess if you're living in a rural area, then sure, it'd be common. But if you're living in a more suburban or city area, it's going to be rare. Like, it's going to be rather rare. In bush and dry areas, they look for water, and toilets, open shelter, open slather. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're in a rural area, sure, it'd be fairly common. But most people don't live in rural areas. So, I would consider it to be an uncommon occurrence. I'm on the fence about picking up my medicinal meth licenses. Kind of been enjoying crack for a while. I want to take the next step in my addiction. So please, would you recommend meth to someone like me? I don't recommend any drugs to anyone. I don't even recommend Panadol to people, because I'm not a pharmacist or a chemist or anything like that. So, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And honestly, like, that's your choice. Most people. I do. I'm country born. I mean, I grew up in Bendigo. Which is a small town. Like, it's not small. It's like 100,000 people these days, but maybe something like that. Meth is healthy. God. No one do drugs. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. No one do illicit drugs, and only do prescription drugs if you have a prescription. How about that? How about that? But yeah, to apply for the license and open a restaurant selling food infused with it. God. How about no? How about no? Alright, chat. What up, okie dokie? How are you doing? Organs, please. Yeah, that's exactly what people that use meth need. They need new organs. Highly recommend hiring shit tons of armored and weaponized security guards. That's... need to finish this rig today? Do it. We'll have a lot of returning customers. You'll have a lot of returning customers for a short period of time. But yeah, don't do it. I do not endorse this. And we're going to stop talking about it. I bought the thing I said I wouldn't. Bought the thing you said you wouldn't. What did you say you weren't going to buy? Oh, the pens. The Japanese pens. So what are we doing here? Apparently many China restaurants put in a bit of addictive drug to their food. I couldn't tell you. I'll recover. At what Y level can you find the most diamonds? Are you talking about in Minecraft? That's the only thing I can think of there in terms of Y level. I have a green ball in one hand, a green ball in another hand. So what do I have? Kermit the Frog begging for mercy. That's correct. Oh my god, is Kermit begging. You are late, Oki. Process physics. 365 days late? Yeah, you are. Mineshaft's like the illegal version of Minecraft. I don't see how, but... I just saw on the news that they're suggesting that people check on the elderly. I'm usually up by 6 or 6:30. Bring donuts. True. True. Me too. Considering people think I'm old, that's, yeah. Bring me donuts. I don't play Minecraft, Hund. I don't do Minecraft or Roblox. Could not buy the case because it's sold out. Ah, yep. G'day, Mars. How are you doing? When did you start working on a roguelike? We switched our action RPG to an action roguelike. So it's the same game, just a different implementation. Do Aussies wear flip-flops, or is that an American thing? Yeah. Yeah, we wear flip-flops. If you die and get cremated, you can be put in an hourglass and still be included in family game night. True. True. Which model should I do next? I'll take your advice to heart and spam machine learning. I don't know. I'm not good when it comes to, like, identifying that type of stuff. Okay, please open CSGO cases. That's so awesome. No. No. I don't play CSGO either. I used to play CSGO for, like, an hour or so each day just to, like, get the daily chest so that I could sell whatever skins I got to people in the community, and then use the money I got for selling the skins to buy games on Steam. Flip thongs is so cursed. Yep, flip thongs. Or flip flongs. Yeah, flip flongs. What are we doing with this? So the attack state, we're going to switch into that whenever the player, go in here. I've decided on my new career. I'm going to be a backwoods stripper. I'm out on the stage naked and people pay me to put my clothes back on. Oh my god, I would make so much money. So much money. Process unhandled input. So what we need to do here is... what input do we have mapped to attack? We can get rid of these. Special ability, we can change that to base attack. What do we want to assign for base attack? I'm thinking base. A. I don't have any opinions, Hund. We don't talk about that stuff here because we're here for game development and software development and programming and stuff like that. One day I'll look up from my phone and realize my kids put me in a nursing home. And I'm done for the morning. Shit, actually, this is supposed to be... that one. There we go. I'm at this pub and it's wild up in here. This dude just got his junk pierced in front of everyone. In other news, I'm terrible at darts. In other news, exactly. Just a little prick. Exactly. Exactly. What up, bad cop? Come to GodotCon. Who's paying? Who's paying for me to go to GodotCon? It's gonna take more than Prime subs. Like, if we go Melbourne to... where was it? Boston? I think Chinese government is paying anyone right now. I don't care. Again, Hund, we don't... like, we do software and game development. Trip would cost like $15 at most. No. So it'd be in May, right? Look at that. 2,600, 3,100. Like, given when I would have to fly out. I thought it was a bunch of numbers. It's not a bunch of numbers. It's a bunch of electrons. Funnily enough. I seriously need help reining in my ADHD ass. That's fair. That's fair. IP leaked. I don't care. Like, you gotta remember, Mike, I don't have a static IP. Let's see, Melbourne and Boston. So I'm looking at cheapest 3,300. 3,300 return. Supposed to do analysis for my job. Sat down to train model predicting disease. Yeah. Change it to one way. Never. Do I want left mouse for attack? I don't think I do want left mouse for attack. Social media is the biggest curse to people with ADHD. Yep. What if we Skype you in? Who uses Skype these days? What? I don't even know what we're talking. Like, what are we talking about here, Bad Cop? Like, if event is action pressed, weapon, then get parent, switch state, enums, state, attack. Oh, whoops. There we are. To be honest, I'm surprised that Skype was not able to cultivate the COVID thing to become huge. That's because of Zoom. Zoom was the one that was pushing for it all. Like, Zoom kind of beat him to the punch. Skype became Teams, exactly. And everyone hates Microsoft Teams. At least in my experience, everyone hates Microsoft Teams. Func. Process unhandled input. They're just here to be annoying, I think. So we'll time them out, and we'll see if that teaches them to just stop bringing up random crap that no one cares about at the moment. We're not here to discuss any of that crap. So take that shit to Hassan's chat, for fuck's sake. Like... let's think. So we press weapon, it changes into the state attack. And we probably also need to set up something for like weapon secondary. Like, actually, we'll change this to weapon base. And we'll do weapon secondary. Weapons secondary. Soup CSLR. I knew it was coming. I was keeping a close eye on Hun's messages. Yeah. Also, by the way, you're 2 locked in. Chess time. How am I 2 locked in? Finally got to doing the system opcodes and have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing, Mike? How am I getting my ass kicked today? Random? Yeah. You're not going to tell me a time frame? Nah, like the last 2 weeks, I've just done nothing but lose. Just wing it. All right. Come on, make your move. Oh. Fucking take forever and a day. I got shit to do. They're just gonna copy my setup. Are they gonna move there? Where to God? Okay, good. Good. If I push that, you take, I take, you take, I take. I was going to do the same thing. So if you get out of there and go somewhere, wherever it is. I'll throw you there so that I'm attacking you. You take, I take. You take, I take.
Boo.
Oh. God damn. Way to scare me. Freaking hell. Let's bump you out. Get you to come out. Probably move you there. Attacking that. You take, I take. If I do that, that... Because now you're attacking that. Best for me to go there, so you take, I take. And bring my queen into it. And then that also defends you. Not happy right now. I don't unpause the video. Why was she putting me in this?
Thank you, Mobile Data, for making it work.
I take there. You take there. I then have to move back here. You come down here. I take... I have to go here. If I go there, you could go there. Actually, no. I go there. You come down here. I take... You take. That's probably my best bet, is moving you back for the time being. Because now I take there, you take there. And then I've got to be careful of you going there. So I would have to move up there. Because if you take, I go there, you go there, I take, you take. Or I move you there. I can't move you anywhere that protects it. Let's see, if I go there, you go there, I take, you take, I take, you take, and then I'm screwed. If I move you there, and I do the same thing, I still have my queen at least. I would have a queen and... Or I could go there. No. You're going to bring that over. That's why. Yeah, I've lost this. What up, Jedum? How are you? I've lost this. There's no way out for me. I don't have the pieces in the positions that I need.
Epic battle.
Nah, it's not an epic battle. It's just me delaying the inevitable. G'day, Sinner. How are you? If they go there, I'm screwed. If they don't go there, I have a chance. I could push that there, blocking you off from this shit show. But then if you take, I'd have to take, and then you'd take. And then it would be those three against those three. But my queen would be wide open. Like if I go there, now push that, you take, I take, you take, I take, you take. Oh, I don't know how this isn't going to do well. This is not going to do well. I need to protect the shit out of this square right here. That's my weak spot. With all of his stuff just homing in on it. And all of my stuff comes down here. I push there. And then you go there. Yeah, shit.
I'm happy, apparently doing work experience all the way through with IT person's name.
Nice. Nice, Goose. Good to hear. Good old IT work experience. If you don't go there, if I can get this there, and then you there for a check, if you take, I take. But at the same time, if you just move, I can go there to check. And then you'd have to take, and then I go there, but then you would just take. I could take there, and then you take, and then I take. I dislike this position in its entirety. Dislike this position in its entirety. I hate it. I hate it. It sucks. Okay. I don't know if they're planning to move out like so. If they do that, I can en passant them. If I go there and begin the attack, you take, I take, you take, I take, I lose. If I go there, you can go there. If I go there, you take, I take check, you take, I take attacking you. You're pretty much cornered at that point. That could be my best way. That could be my out. That could be my out. Oh. I so hope. Okay. Well, they didn't take the bait. You take, I take. You move there. I can go there. Check. Oh! This is gonna be it. No, because you'll push there. Then I can take. You take. Ooh. If I take that, I've got you cornered. You have to take, and then I can take. And then that puts me in a position up with those. Anywhere you move to is death. Like, I own your queen. You take, I take, and I'm closer to promoting. Fuck you. Oh, I don't know how I escaped that. um... You can go to either of those, or you do that. I have no idea how I fucking worked my way out of that. I got no idea what moves I made, but they worked. And I am somehow in a better position for it. And they only have 1:25 left. Oh god, how did I do that? If I go there, you take, I push. You take, I push, you go there, and then I just move my king up. I start moving my king up. That's all I need to do at that point. Might win this just on time, to be honest. Went from being pushed into a corner to pushing the other guy into a corner. I know, right? How the fuck did I do that? Oh, that was some... That's the kind of chess I used to play. I think they've just left because they're like, I don't have time to do anything. Yeah, they've just given up. They've just walked away. I don't know how the fuck I pulled that off. How did I do that? They even played slightly better than me. They played slightly better than me. So they've gone there. Says that's a mistake. Right, I should have moved my queen there. Okay. I take that. I go there. They go there. That's a blunder. Because I take. You take. Then I go there. They're saying I should have moved my queen there. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Queen to e2 would have been the better spot there. Because if I had have... if I had have gone there, they wouldn't have been able to move in. But it would have been they take, I take, they take. And then it would be... Yeah, because then I could do that to check. You couldn't do anything. I mean... It does... Now I push my pawn. Yeah. I love how it's like, that's a blunder, but it stumped this person. Because if they did that, I'd do that. Then they go there. Then I just start pushing this up. So then you can go there. Yeah. So yeah, my plan was flawed, but they couldn't see it. I couldn't see it either. So let's go back here. So this spot. Where are you saying, Aphonia? King eat the pawn, then pawn takes the knight. Then queen d7 check. And free rook. So from here... From this position is what you're talking about. Ah, yeah, I see. Take there. They take. I check. So the only issue with this, like, I guess if they go back there, I go there and well, actually, I could just go there and checkmate them. If they go there, I go there and still. God damn! Oh my god! Oh my god! Aphonia. That's so much better. I could have sacked you